I'm sure everybody wonders when you say those are not shells.
It's all one piece of paper, and since this isn't framed, you have the luxury of seeing the back, which is
There you go.
the piece of paper. And it's so full the eye that, you know, even though I just explained this to you all, you're asking me the same question again, which happens a lot. One kind of anecdotal thing is that somebody who is working on one of these, doing the framing, called Janice. I'm represented by Janice Aldridge, who's on Washington Street, and she had taken this to a framer, and they called her to tell her that the shells, even though most of it was paper, the shells were real, and they were going to fall off. So she told him 3 times, no, these shells are, it's all one piece of paper. They're not real. They're not going to fall off. He said, no, these are real. He said, I'm standing here, I'm touching them, and they are not going to stay adhered. I'm just warning you.
Your next exhibition is going to be geared toward whales.
So this is, you know, the Sailor's Valentines in paper. And it's documenting, the pictures are documenting the whaling industry on Nantucket. You know, how they went to the Antarctic and how they caught whales. This is a show that I'm working on. It's a takeoff on on Edward Hicks' Peaceable Kingdom. You know, where everything is happy and resolved, and, you know, but the hidden message here is that these are all, what do you call them, hunting dogs.
Sport, the horses sport.
So they're hunting, they're out for the hunt. They want to kill all these little birds. So things are not that happy in paradise.
This looks like a purse, but it's really a Mellie creation.
If you turn it around.
And she frames them. Isn't that a work of art?
So it becomes three-dimensional. All of a sudden, there it is.
Do you see the three-dimensionality of it?
I don't actually frame them. My great collaborator does all the framing.
But still.
But anyway, these are... This is the kind of thing I would be doing for Florida, which you can see would be different from the kind of thing that I'm doing for Nantucket, because I am really inspired by the place that I am.
What this is about is one of Mellie's really early shows, back in the days of the West Village and Soho and all of that going on. And she didn't know exactly what she was going to do, but she had an apparition, and that was to do a porn collection.
Actually, that's not exactly what happened.
Well, almost.
What happened is I was in a really great little Catholic girls' college, and I had left to get married, come back, and one of the nuns, I thought I was really hotshot, and one of the nuns decided to put me in my place. So she said, well, even if you're a senior, you can do a junior showcase. So it was kind of back at you. I'm going to do a gangbang. And so I did a whole show of people fornicating all over the place. And one of my teachers, who was not a nun, who was a guy, of course, was very smitten with the show. And so he asked if he could submit it to 22 Worcester, which he did. And so it was in the show. And my husband and some other people dragged me down to Soho to see the show. And they went in. By this time, I was like really mortified. So I hid in the car. They came out and said, you've got to go see this show. And so I snuck in. I wouldn't let them come with me. And I'm in the, you know, the hallowed gallery space, you know. And it is wood floors, 20-foot ceilings, nobody's there. And there's all this erotic artwork on the walls. So I'm like being scholarly and walking along, looking like, you know, looking at the stuff on the walls. And all of a sudden, I kicked something and it went flying across the wood floor, and I looked down, much to my horror. There was an installation of ceramic penises
And they went
on the floor, and I had kicked the installation and there were penises flying everywhere. So off I go out of there, never to return. I never actually picked up the piece that was on the shelf.
Where do you begin if there were so many?
To glue them back together again. So now you've had the experience of seeing Mellie's work. Special, I'm sure you realize that now. She's a very special person and a wonderful artist in the unique things that she does. So now you've had the pleasure of seeing what is really a very special place with a very special artist. And we're very fortunate to be able to bring them to you.
And you're special too, Bruce.
And you too, honey.
Good.